Let's pivot away from tariff, but let's stay with fraud in the US. Double brokering, right? We covered this in some depth on a previous episode of the Freight Buyers Club. Mark McCullough, CEO of Gabruda Vice North America, told us how double brokering scams cost his company $600 in a single year. Now, the way he sort of roughly described it, he tells a way better story than me. So please look at that interview with Mark on the Freight Buyers Club on YouTube. But it starts small. So you have a legitimate looking load, they build trust over time, and then all of a sudden that trust disappears, and so does the load. Even with the best vetting technology, the criminals are changing their methods faster than tools can keep up. Nancy, is this something you come across a lot with shippers that you speak to?
So prior to working with League, I worked for TIA, which was the domestic brokers, and this issue has been and will always be probably one of their top priorities. We and many of the associations are working with FMCSA to figure out a way that when somebody registers, we need to have more signals fly up, right? We need to so if there are chameleons, which there are millions, there's a way to stop them before they even can get a license. We've asked for red light, green lights from FMCSA. I've been lobbying on that for over 12 years, I think. We got to stop it where it starts, right? We got to know how they got through FMCSA because that's where they get their license. It is quite complex. And we actually are going to have a meeting soon with FMCSA on this issue. We've been talking about it for years. How do we get to a database that can actually prevent or stop the chameleons? The email issue is a different thing. The email issue where they're acting like they take over your email, it sounds like it's coming from your company, is another whole disaster really, and it is happening. It happens every day. Especially, I think right now the highest one being hit on that is pharmaceuticals, which is frightening. So there's quite a bit of theft in pharmaceuticals at the moment.
Target high value goods. Just
Yes.
back on the FMCSA point, Nancy, you've been lobbying for 12 years. Have you got any sense that something might happen now in year 13?
Well, it's a good thing. It keeps us in jobs, I guess. They're working very hard. You know, it is a new administration, and I will say for transportation, they are working really hard to get rid of those carriers that are fraudulent, shouldn't be driving in the US. But I think it has to happen in that database. There has to be some flags that go off to say, oh, this guy's familiar. This is like his third license of a different name. How do we stop that? We're not there yet. um, but we'll get there. I think with this administration, we may actually get something that will send flags.